Hi there. LinkedIn as a profile is meant for professional purposes. This edition of my VT Talks, I'm going to cover on what you should not do in your LinkedIn intro section and LinkedIn background section. Uh, Welcome back to this edition of VT Talks. It's going to be very interesting. When we look at LinkedIn, and I keep getting a lot of requests, it's funny the way people sort of write multiple things in their intro section. Somebody writes he's an evangelist, somebody writes he's a dreamer, somebody writes his left brain and right brain works together. I don't know what that means. Somebody writes change agent. It was very interesting. He sent a request to me saying that he's a change agent. So I sort of asked him that, why don't you relocate to Bangalore? He was writing in from Pune. He gave me 100 reasons why that change was not possible for him to come to Bangalore. But he writes change agent as his profile name. You also have then a certain set of people who have 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars on their profile. They'll have a tick mark with everything that they write on their profile. They'll have some cups, I don't know what that means, on their profile. It is hilarious, the least to say, how people actually write in their profiles, and this is a big no. When you are trying to create a professional profile of yours on a platform like LinkedIn, it is important that you do not write any of these motivator, dreamer, influencer. I don't even know what an influencer means. I don't think I am an influencer despite writing on this platform for the last 2 years. But people who are with 6 months experience, they write they're influencers. Then you also have people who have quotes written in their introduction section. The quotes and I'm just recollecting a few funny ones. One quote was, I do not fear computers. I fear lack of them. There's a request that comes to me saying XYZ name. I do not fear computers, but I fear lack of them. I don't even know what that means. Or somebody writes best-selling author. Where? In your apartment complex or in your building? Where are you a best-selling author? I mean, why do you have to write such things on your profile? Or somebody who writes saying that if I'm visiting your profile, you must be lucky. I may have an opportunity for you. In my head, I think, let it be. I don't want to say that here. But these are things that you should not do. Now, what should you then do, and how should you actually have this built on your profile? So I have simple tips. As usual, VT Talks is about simple tips. So I'm going to give you 3 different ways in which you can actually frame your introduction section, which is the first thing that pops up when you send a request of LinkedIn, on how you can do it. First one will have 6 subsections. Let me repeat again. First one will have 6 subsections. That's one way of doing it. You can write your designation and organization that you're working with. So, for example, I'm CHRO at Tone Tag. So I'll write CHRO, Tone Tag. Then the next section is my education and my institution. MBA, XLRI, that's what it is in my case. The third section is the current state that you are in. It could be, if I'm a recruiter, I will write hiring for so and so profiles. If you are looking for opportunities, you will write looking for opportunities in so and so. This is your third section. Your fourth section should be your latest accomplishment, if at all there is any. I mean, don't write it this. Don't write, I was a volleyball champion in my school. I mean, that's not what you write in your introduction. So if there's a latest accomplishment, you also mention that. Then you have your fifth and sixth section dedicated to what you do in your profile. For example, HR business partner, recruitment, PMO, it could be anything. So you can divide this into 6 subsections and your introduction can be this. It looks smart, it covers your profile and is very appealing when you reach out to professionals for help or network. The second way of writing, if you don't want to write like this, the second way of writing is you just make one statement. That I'll just give an example in my case. HR professional with 13 years of experience across recruitment, HR business partner, comp and ben, looking for opportunities. I'll just write one simple statement if I don't want to write multiple things. And the third way of doing this is you write your designation and organization and then just mention the current state, looking for opportunities or looking to hire people. When you divide this in these 3 ways, trust me, the hit rate of people looking at your profile is way more higher than when you reach out to people saying, I'm a lion, I'm an influencer, I am a motivator, I am a change enthusiast, I am a left brain, light brain thinker, and all the funny things that people write. If you have any of these, please change it. When do you actually write something in your intro? There are again 2 or 3 things that I want to mention. 2 things actually. I write something in my intro if I've done it more than 10 times. So if I say I'm a speaker, I would have spoken at different places for more than 10 times. If I mention an experience like a recruiter, HR business partner, I would write only if there is a minimum 1 year experience that I've gained in that particular platform. So it's very important when you look at your intro in this manner. You reframe this, I'm sure it'll benefit. The next is your background. That's another section which people goof up. And I'll tell you how they goof up. I see people pasting their entire CV in the background section, or I see people writing their entire profile in the background section. Please don't do that. Background section is not meant to do that. You send your profile for that. Background section is to give an executive summary of what you're doing. There are 2 sections that you would break the background section into. The first section is what are you currently working on. The second section is an overall summary of all the skills that you've gained through your different work experiences. Just limit it to 2 paragraphs and your background section will definitely be much more appealing, much more clean. I hope that I've been able to give you some simple tips to move away from being an influencer and an enthusiast and I don't know what not, to being more practical, being more realistic, and writing what matters on your profile. Thank you for watching this edition of VT Talks. I'm very happy to say that I've also launched VT Talks on YouTube just to maintain the entire repository of multiple topics I've spoken about. I hope you go through them if you want to refer to any of the topics. I've covered interview skills, I've covered how to choose between passion and career, I've covered how can you create your story. There are multiple things that I have written. So when you have time, you can refer to the YouTube channels. Just look up for VT Talks and you will find it there. Thank you once again for watching, and namaste.